Hello, partners in Christ. This is Pastor Alex, and I'm here to bring the De Leonardo's June's update. So, there are four things I want to share with you guys in this short video. The first thing is news. We're here in Cisterna de Latina. By God's grace, we have finally arrived. Second is a recap of what took place in Sicily. Third are the logistics about living here in Italy. And then, fourthly, lastly, is ministry, what we were called to do here. So starting with news, yes, by God's grace, we're finally here in Cisterna de Latina. As you recall, our original plan was for us to fly out to Rome, which we did a month and a half ago, and then we were going to go to Sicily where my dad lives, which we did. And then the goal was that I would go by myself, leaving Allison and Adanasio with my dad in his house, and I would go pretty much couch surfing, living in people's homes, and looking for a place for us to live in. But God had a different plan, a better plan. When we landed in Rome, the church had found a place that we could consider, and we checked it out, and we liked it. And so when we went to Sicily, we began to pray. We began to ask the Lord if this was the place, and indeed the Lord impressed in our hearts that it was. So we began the difficult part of negotiation, figuring out what we needed in order to rent this place. And it took a long time, but by God's grace, we're here now, and so we're so thankful for that. Now, what we ask prayers for is that we need things to make this house functional and livable, such as a washing machine, since they don't have laundromats here, and Allison and I don't have a bed, and so just pray that things go smoothly. We're buying and we're beginning to go ahead and look for these things, but it's difficult. I don't have a car, and I just there's a lot to do, but just pray that things will go smoothly. Second is a recap. We were so eager to begin our ministry, but the Lord set us apart in Sicily for a month and a half, and the Lord used it wisely. We had a chance to connect with my family, my dad, my brother, my distant relatives, my cousins, and so forth, and it was such a blessing. We also got to celebrate our 5-year anniversary. We went to where we had our honeymoon, Cefalù, and it was so great to be able to bring Adan with us, and he got to see all the places that we got to visit 5 years ago, and it was such a blessing. Our exact date was June 22nd, but we celebrated a week before, and we're so thankful for that. Also connecting with believers we just met in the street, local owners of stores and whatnot, and just a blessing to connect and know that there are believers out there, and to encourage us to do the work. I had the chance to preach at a friend's church in Palermo, Sicily, a pretty big city, and it's called Life Hope Church, and I had a chance to preach in Italian, my second time ever, and it was quite difficult, but by God's grace, I believe it went better than it did the first time. And then last but not least, Alice and I have been diligent and faithful, I hope, in studying our Italian and our Filipino. In my case, Tagalog, I've been really focusing in that, and Allison in her Italian. And please pray that we will be diligent, that we won't stop, that we will continue to do that. Now, recap, we talked about recap, and now logistics. To get from Rome to Sicily, we flew, but we decided to go from Sicily to Rome to actually take the train, a long train ride, which is 12 hours. There are many reasons why we chose that, but the biggest reason was that by plane you have to pay for the weight of the luggage, and in the train you don't. And we decided to do it at night, so then Adanasio can sleep throughout it all. So now, given that it is at night, they do provide beds in the train, not the most comfortable, but doable. And so that was quite an experience. Now, if you recall in a map, Sicily is an island and the mainland is a peninsula, and there are no bridges connecting the island to the peninsula. So how does the train go from point A to point B? It's quite remarkable, actually. It does not go underground. It actually goes on a barge, on a boat. What it does, it goes in this boat, it decouples, the boat goes to the mainland, and then it recouples and continues its journey. Given that it was a night and we had Adanasio and he was sleeping, we did not get to actually see it, but still, nevertheless, quite an amazing experience. And I hope to see it again one of these days. Another part of our logistics is that we're still waiting for Allison's and Adanasio's paperwork. Pray that they will come, specifically before August, because they have 3 months until they need to apply for a visa sojourno, and we're trying to avoid that. We're trying to claim Adanasio's citizenship through given the fact that I'm his dad, and then also for Allison, she's married with me, so for her residency. And then myself, I need to switch my residency from Bagheria, Sicily, to Giustiniano della Tina. And given that everything is a lot more difficult here in Italy, pray that it's a smooth process and not so difficult. Last but not least, ministry. Now, given that we arrived on Friday, we had the opportunity to go to Living Word, the church I'll be pastoring, and participate in their Sunday worship, and it was such a blessing. I decided that I wasn't going to preach, but allow the person who's been preaching, the lay person, to do it so that I could just stand back, observe, see, and learn from this whole experience. So thankful for that. Beginning this coming July, the first Sunday is when I will be beginning my pastoral role for Living Word. But the installation will take place sometime in August, an official service for that, and so stay tuned for that. And then last but not least, in ministry, there are two things I want you to pray for. First and foremost, Lorna, a faithful lady in the Lord, she actually suffered a mild stroke last Thursday. And just pray for healing for her. I had a chance to visit her in the hospital, pray with her, pray for her. And by God's grace, she's already recuperating strength in her left side, which is the side that she lost mobility in. Just pray that she'll be able to recover, full healing, and then to be able to go home. And then last but not least, second, the place that Living Word has been meeting for the past 3 years is her living room, Lorna's living room. And by God's grace, we were able to use it last Sunday, but the Lord has shown us that it's time for Living Word to find a place to worship, a place to rent, a place to host their services. And so I'm going to be looking for this week for a place, so hopefully by next Sunday we'll have a new place. And so pray that we'll be able to have favor from the Lord and to be able to find a good place. This could actually prove to be quite useful to Living Word, given that many Filipinos who we're trying to reach are not comfortable in going to someone's home to worship. And so having a neutral place, a locale, a place of worship outside of someone's home can actually be a great evangelistic tool to bringing in people and attending. And so pray for that. As always, thank you so much for your support financially, prayerfully, and everything you do. May the Lord bless you. And again, as always, if you want to check out our past updates, check us out at praisechristianchurch.com/DeLeonardos. And for our quick updates, snippets of pictures here and there, check us out. Follow us on Instagram at aa.DeLeonardos. God bless you.